The history of UOS goes back to the early 1900s when Jewish immigrants from Eastern Europe were coming to Houston and began to form communities in different pockets of the city where they were settling. By 1910, two congregations were established. There was Adath Emeth and Adath Israel. And then later in the 1930s, in an area of the city that we would call the Third Ward, Congregation Beth Jacob was established. Of the three Orthodox synagogues in Houston at that time, each of them had a particular advantage. Congregation Adath Emeth had the large new building. And by 1965 and 1966, the other two Orthodox congregations in the city, Adath Israel and Beth Jacob, needing more space, needing access to education for the children of members, decided it was in everyone's strategic interest to form this merger. And so that's how UOS was created. The generation of Jewish Houstonians who had the foresight to create this community here, really believed that this is where the future of Judaism in Houston needed to be.
My name is Sophie Lee Landau. I moved to Houston 7 years ago from New York.
My name is Doreen Lerner. My husband Marshall and I moved to Houston from Northern California in the summer of 2001.
My name is Aaron Brown, and I came to Houston in about August of 2000 to work for NASA.
Hi, I'm Rachel Hewlin. My husband and I and our three kids moved to Houston in 2020 for a job opportunity.
Hi, my name is Joseph Levenstein. This is my wife Tanya. We moved here in 2013.
We met in 91, we got engaged a few months later, and I joined in 92, right when we got married.
I moved here 7 years ago, right after college, to pursue a job in the oil and engineering field here. And UOS was the modern Orthodox synagogue, and so it obviously was going to be the place for me. I came to visit right before I moved, and I fell in love with the community.
We chose UOS because it was recommended to us by a friend. And once we came here on our first day, which was the last days of Sukkot in 2013, and we were welcomed by everyone, essentially, very warmly and very kindly. And we came because of the recommendation, but we've stayed because of the community and the friends that we've made here.
I would say our favorite memory here is of our son's bar mitzvah. We had a lot of family. We had 60 family members attend from all over. And we were so proud of Daniel.
When my kids were very young, when the old building was still in existence, at the end of davening every Shabbat, the little kids were in groups, and whoever the group leaders were would lead them up this ramp onto the bima for Hatikva, and they would all just line up there in the front at the end of davening, and it was just it was a really kind of a beautiful sight. I have that wonderful memory.
I just remember coming into shul, and I literally couldn't even get a drink of water or a bite of food because so many people were coming up to me and wanting to introduce themselves and learn about what we wanted and what we were doing and why we were here. And it was such a warm welcome that I'd never experienced anywhere before.
It's amazing to see the community rally around an individual, whether it's a high or a low or anything in the middle. The community will gather around the individual when the individual needs something.
A community is much more than a building, right? It's not about the physical space only. It's about the people who fill that space and who bring to it their dreams and their ideas.
Your neighbors are your friends, they're your family. They look in after you, they take care of you when you have challenges. They keep track of your kids' birthdays and simchas in your life.
It's a place where you can rely on people when you're in a position that you need help. It's a community where you can be the person to give out help and feel like you have a purpose.
As we raise our kids, it's been really nice to look to our older friends who've been there and done that and have the advice to offer us on ways to raise our kids here in Houston. And now we're kind of in that stage where we get to give over some of that advice.
regardless of your background and regardless of where you stand from a practice perspective, that you know that you can come to UOS and feel comfortable and feel welcome. And running that balance line of maintaining orthodoxy, but then at the same time being so warm and welcoming to all members and potential members, I think is possibly globally unique, but certainly that's what makes our community special.
This community is incredibly warm, incredibly hospitable. I've never seen such a community that has you over every Shabbat.
It's crazy that the last few weeks I walk into shul and there are people that I don't even recognize, and that people are seeing what we see here, just how great it is, how warm it is.
There's definitely a sense that we're on the precipice of something big. There's a fire that's starting. You can feel it. You can sense it on Shabbat. You can sense it in the classes. You can sense it in the kids. There's an energy that is really starting to resonate and radiate in the shul with Rabbi Sprung, with the young adults, with the programming we're seeing, with the classes we're seeing, with the attendance in the classes we're seeing. We read at the end of Parshas Pekudei how Moshe has completed the construction of the Mishkan, of the tabernacle, and the glory of Hashem fills the tabernacle. And we, in some sense, have an opportunity to do that same thing here. We can construct and will be constructing a beautiful new sanctuary, and hopefully it can be a place for Hashem's presence to reside and to rest.
I am looking forward tremendously to the joy, the simchas, the color, the light, the life, and the celebration that I know will be occurring in our beautiful new space.
We're really going to be able to attract a lot of people to come and experience our community and realize all the wonderful things that made us come here in the first place.
I look forward to being a UOS member for the rest of my life. I intend to be in Houston and build a family here, so I'm incredibly excited and grateful for the new shul to be built.
I can only express my gratitude from the bottom of my heart to all of those who have worked so hard to get us to this point, including our incredible building committee and our capital campaign.
The time and financial contribution that they've made, and all of us have sort of come together to make, and just those efforts that the leadership has done to make this vision of this new building a reality is something that our family will always be grateful for.
I'm so excited for this next phase for UOS. Mazel tov.